BILT has just introduced 3 cards as part of its new lineup. There's the no annual fee blue card, the $95 Obsidian card, and the $495 Palladium card. The big appeal with all 3 of these cards is that you can use them to earn points on your rent or mortgage in addition to your everyday spend. But each of these cards has their own benefits, so in this video we're going to focus on the Obsidian card. Now this card is joining the ranks of other popular travel cards like the Chase Sapphire Preferred and the Capital One Venture Rewards, both of which also have $95 annual fees. But BILT is trying to position the Obsidian as being for more than just travel. They also want you to use this card for your everyday spend. So in this video, we're going to go over the reward structure of the Obsidian, and we'll also go through some examples to see how it compares to the Sapphire Preferred and the Venture Rewards. And guys, if you do like this video, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. I've just launched this channel and I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Thank you guys again. Starting things off with the Obsidian card, one of the main things that differentiates this from the other new BILT cards is that you can earn 3 times rewards on either groceries or dining. Now keep in mind there is a $25,000 annual spend cap on the groceries, but that should be more than enough for most people. It's a little bit frustrating that you don't get both of these categories at 3 times points, but you have to choose one, and keep in mind you can only choose the category once per calendar year, so make sure you select the one where you have the majority of your everyday spend. A second differentiator for the Obsidian is that you're also going to get 2 times points on travel purchases, and that applies to not just travel booked through the BILT portal, but also travel that's booked direct. And beyond that, you're going to get 1 times points on all other purchases. Now, when it comes to earning points on your rent or mortgage through the BILT Obsidian card, you have 2 different options to choose from. Option 1, you can elect to purely be rewarded through points. Option 2, you can elect to be rewarded through a combination of points and BILT cash. Ultimately, both options are fairly similar in terms of their total rewards, but if you are a big spender and you regularly spend more than your rent on other purchases every single month, you might get slightly more value out of the BILT cash option. But from what I've seen, BILT Cash just isn't as powerful as regular BILT points, and you can only redeem BILT Cash for credit with certain BILT partners. This could apply to redeeming credits from Lyft, Walgreens, Grubhub, and many more. I'll leave a link in the description that shows all the different places you can redeem BILT Cash. For me, it's just a few too many hoops to jump through, and they're not really places I personally shop, so I would prefer to go the option that's just BILT points. Now, if you want to see how you earn points from housing with the new BILT Obsidian card, that can be shown on screen here. Now, as you can see, in order to earn any points whatsoever from your housing payment, you need to spend at least 25% of your monthly rent or mortgage on other purchases. And if you do hit that 25% threshold, you will earn 0.5 points on your rent. Now, if you spend at least 50% of your rent on other purchases, you're going to move up to 0.75 times rewards. Now, in order to get 1 times rewards on your rent, you're going to need to spend 75% of your monthly rent on other purchases. And if you do happen to be a big spender and you spend the same or more of your monthly rent on other day-to-day purchases, you're going to get 1.25 rewards on your rent. And if you fail to reach that 25% threshold, you're only going to earn 250 BILT points for the month. And by the way, this housing reward structure is the same regardless of whether you get the blue card, the Obsidian card, or the Palladium. So as you can see, BILT is trying to get you to use this card as not just a rent card or a travel card, but as an everyday spending card. And a few other important notes about the Obsidian is that you will currently get a welcome bonus of $200 of BILT cash upon approval, and you also do get an annual $100 hotel credit with this card. Honestly, not the most impressive when it comes to sign-up bonuses, especially when you look at the competing cards in this category. And finally, like all the other BILT cards, you're going to have no foreign transaction fees with the Obsidian as well. And you also have a couple additional perks like extended warranty coverage and trip delay insurance. So what could you expect your rewards to look like with the new Obsidian card? Well, right here, I've got an example pulled up where you're going to be using your BILT Obsidian card as an everyday spending card, and you're also going to be using it to pay for your rent, which in this case is going to be $2,000 a month. And in addition to that $2,000 on rent, I'm going to be assuming $1,500 to spend on other common categories. So here we've got $500 on groceries, which I've selected as the 3X category, so that's going to yield you 1,500 points. For dining, I've also put that at $500. We're only going to get 1 times rewards on that. For gas, we're also going to get 1 times rewards. Now for travel purchases, I'm averaging that at $200 a month. That's going to yield us 400 points. And finally, I've thrown in $100 of miscellaneous spend, which is going to yield you 100 points. And of course, because you're hitting that 75% threshold, you're going to get 2,000 points on your rent, which is going to give you a total of 4,700 points for the month. And I do think that hitting the 75% spend is reasonable, assuming that you're using this card for all of your purchases. And of course, for overall rewards, you do want to consider that you're going to be getting that $200 of BILT cash. Just keep in mind, you can't transfer that $200 out to travel partners like you can with points. Instead, you have to redeem it for specific BILT credits. Now, let's look at another really popular entry-level travel card with the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And in this example, we're going to be using the exact same spend on housing and all other purchases. So obviously, you're not going to be getting any points on rent since you're not using the BILT card. You're going to get 1x on groceries, 3x on dining with the Sapphire Preferred, 1x on gas, 2x on travel, and then 1x on all other purchases. And at the end of the month, that's going to yield you 2,700 points. But it is very important to point out that the current sign-up bonus for the Sapphire Preferred is 75,000 points, which is way better than what the Obsidian is currently offering. Another important point with the Sapphire Preferred is that you do get 3 times points on online groceries, so if you use those more than in person, you're actually going to get 3x points on dining and groceries. Also, beyond the 2 times points you get on travel you book direct, you're also going to get 5 times points on travel you book through the Chase portal. So as you can see, while the sign-up bonus is great with the Sapphire Preferred, it's not necessarily a great everyday spending card. And finally, let's move on to our third card, which is the Capital One Venture Rewards. I actually love the reward structure of the Venture because you're going to get a flat 2 times points on all purchases. So obviously, excluding rent points here because we're not using the BILT card, you are going to get a total of 3,000 monthly points with the Venture card. And on top of that, the Venture Rewards card has the best sign-up bonus for a $95 card. You're going to get 75,000 points and a $250 travel credit when you sign up. And then in addition to the 2x points on travel book direct, you do get 5 times points on hotels and rental cards you book through the Capital One portal, but that does exclude flights. So I do think the Capital One Venture Rewards does edge out the Sapphire Preferred as an everyday spending card, but it is still behind the BILT Obsidian. Now, Capital One also happens to have one of the best rewards cards with no annual fee, and that's the Saver card. And I wanted to show you this scenario because if you just combine using the Saver card with the Capital One Venture card, you can get 3x points on groceries and dining with the Saver card, and then 2x points on everything else using the Venture Rewards. And using this scenario with the 2 cards from Capital One, you're going to get 4,000 points for the month, which is much closer to your rewards with the BILT Obsidian card. So what's the bottom line with these cards? Well, compared to the other cards in its category, the BILT Obsidian is going to give you better monthly rewards thanks to the ability to earn points on your rent or mortgage. And pretty much the only way to earn a comparable amount of monthly rewards when using the Chase Sapphire or the Capital One Venture Rewards is to use a multi-card strategy. But I also can't stress enough that the sign-up bonuses with Chase and Capital One are far superior. With both the Sapphire and the Venture, you're going to be getting at least 75,000 points to redeem towards travel, and that can easily be worth more than $1,000 in value. And to put that in perspective, it would take most people at least a year to rack up that many points when using the Obsidian card. So in the short term, because of those sign-up bonuses, a lot of people may see more value from the Sapphire or the Venture Rewards, but over the longer term, after 1 or 2 years, I think most people would also start to rack up more points if they put all their spend on the Obsidian. Now, another consideration you want to have on your mind is that all 3 of these companies are going to have different travel portals and different airline transfer partners. Now, all of the portals are functional and easy to use, but it's worth noting that Capital One offers a price match for all travel booked through their portal, whereas BILT and Chase don't. For me personally, I found that BILT has the most useful list of airline partners, but that's going to vary from person to person depending on who you fly with most often. But if you do plan on using these cards to book a lot of travel, you should definitely go online and look at the list of airline partners for each of them. But for me, I think where the Obsidian card stands out compared to some of the competition is that if you do use this card for your rent or mortgage and all of your other purchases, it can be a pretty amazing catch-all card. And it's also going to be especially powerful if you spend a lot on groceries or dining. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Personally, I think the Obsidian may be the best of the 3 new BILT cards. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you've enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.